Welcome back, everybody, to our World Cup preview. This time, instead of just focusing on the U.S., we'll preview the entire tournament. Joined with me today, once again, is Spencer Schultz and Aaron Hickman, your two soccer experts, and I will be hosting. And at the end, we will get to see my unknown, know nothing bracket, which will be fun to look at. But before then,
it's like the girlfriend that knows nothing about March Madness.
Yes. Which means, with that all being said, typically she does the best. So if I beat both of you, that'll be embarrassing. With that said, let's start the process of looking at Spencer's pool. We will then fill out Spencer's bracket live on the show as it goes, and we'll see how it'll walk us through, and then we'll do the same thing with Aaron. So, Spence, give us a quick breakdown of your pools. Don't go too in depth because we got to get through a lot in this episode.
Yeah, not much to discuss with Qatar sucks. Neither one's overwhelming favorite. I'm glad Sadio Mane is fit enough to make the tournament. Senegal is one of my teams to watch with Mendy, Koulibaly, and Mane. B, not much to discuss. We've discussed the U.S. and everyone else at length. C, I think the major thing there is Poland and Mexico fighting for second. Denmark, one of the better teams in this tournament, just how they play together. Eriksen's been really good for Man U. I think the top two are clear in that group. It'll be interesting how France does without Pogba and Conte, but I don't have any worries. E, I don't see Germany and Spain not making it out. Although they just won 1-0. I was about to text you guys today, 1-0 against Oman in a friendly. So that I'm not too – Germany's been trending downwards slowly. Not too confident there. F was the hardest group for me to pick. And I actually have a surprise Belgium finishing third. Lukaku and Hazard are just really on the down low. Only reason I'm not confident in that is they have the best keeper in the world in Courtois and a top 5 player in De Bruyne, but had to go with something bold. G, Switzerland shows up in these kind of tournaments. Brazil is the favorite in my opinion, and then H, no Diogo Jota. I think I would have started Jota up top over Ronaldo. I don't think the manager would have had balls to do it, but I think you'll start Ronaldo now. Because of that, I'm taking Uruguay as a little bit of a surprise winning the group. But I think a player to watch is Rafael Leao from AC Milan on their left wing. I hope he starts. He's really fun to watch.
All right, let's move into your bracket. So we'll fill out the first round real quick. We've got Netherlands against. You had the U.S. coming out, right?
Wales.
Okay. Then you had. Who do you have taken first in Group C?
Here, I can pull it up.
All
okay,
right.
C first place is Argentina. D second place.
Yep, Denmark. So already starting to learn a little bit about these groups. Group E, first place.
First place, Germany.
All right.
Canada.
Group G.
Brazil.
Group H. Portugal. Ooh, that'll be a fun first round. All right, England versus Group A second.
Senegal.
Poland
versus France.
You have Poland.
Spain versus Croatia. And then Switzerland versus Uruguay.
Group F, first place was who?
Croatia.
I think I might have spelled that wrong. Group E, second place is Spain.
Yeah.
And then at the bottom, the last matchup, Group H, first place is
Uruguay versus Switzerland.
All right, we'll start with that game since we're already down there. Who do you have moving on into the quarterfinals in the Uruguay versus Switzerland matchup?
I think I got Uruguay pretty easily there. I think Darwin Nunez is like an X factor in this tournament. If he lives up to his potential, I think Uruguay could secretly make a run to the semis. So Yeah.
All right,
Who's that
Croatia
next
versus
one?
Spain.
Fudge. I'm gonna go with Spain. Croatia's what?
Let's go.
Oh, fudge. Continue.
I'm going Spain. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. I don't like their guys up front and Ferran Torres and Morata, but I'm gonna go Spain. France,
France over Poland. England
and
versus Senegal.
I'm gonna go Senegal for the upset.
Now, as the host, I have to ask: is that a I don't like England pick, or do you just truly believe that, or do you think that plays well on the upset?
Well, I just think Sadio Mane can run circles on that back line, and they've got the best defender in that game in Koulibaly, the better keeper in Mendy. I know he hasn't been in great form this year with Chelsea, but I just put that on an individual effort. Yeah.
All right, Brazil versus Portugal. Does Ronaldo's last World Cup end in a loss to Brazil?
It does, Brazil.
All right. Germany versus Canada. I think you said Canada was your surprise team to make it out of pools.
Yep, and I'm gonna go with Canada for the shocker here. I might be a little too high on CONCACAF teams. I guess it's just the teams I've watched most. But Fonzo Davies, great player. I love Jonathan David up top. I like a lot. Yeah,
All right,
I've got
Argentina.
that is a very good game. That is a ooh.
I think that can be the best game of the round of 16.
I agree. I'm gonna go Netherlands up top. When it comes down to it, getting a goal, I'm gonna take Argentina. But it wouldn't shock me if Denmark upset them.
All right.
Uh,
Netherlands versus Argentina to move into your final four.
So Luis van Gaal has had them Netherlands playing really well. I'm not as high on Argentina as other people are. Golly. I gotta go with another upset somewhere. But this is not it. Argentina.
The psych out. The old psych out.
Brazil.
Does Canada continue their Cinderella run?
Brazil.
No? Brazil.
Brazil has too much talent. Nope, not Canada. Brazil. Actually, give me Netherlands up top. Yeah. Sorry, Messi.
So the two greatest players of this generation go out in the round of 16 and the round of 8.
France for this one.
All right, France doesn't really upset, just continues on. Spain versus Uruguay. Do you have Uruguay going on that secret semifinal run that you talked about in their first matchup?
Yep. So this is a path where they can do that. I'm gonna have them win this game. They finish top of the group and they get. Yeah. So that would be
Switzerland.
I mean, the consensus is Belgium finishing first against Spain or Germany, so it'd probably be against Belgium. But I think Uruguay can beat any of those teams I just mentioned.
All right.
And then I've got Brazil.
On to the World Cup final. Brazil.
Yeah, I've got Brazil.
Versus France, I assume.
Yep, I've got France.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but that was the semis a couple years ago, or the last World Cup, or the championship. I think they matched up, right? Or was that Germany?
Germany was a disappointment 2018. They finished like last in their group. France beat Croatia, right?
Yeah, they haven't played each other since 2006 in the World Cup.
All right. Well, I'm wrong. So,
But
who?
so I know people are worried about France, particularly their midfield with Pogba and Conte out. I love their center back pairing that they we'll see what they choose. But Varane and I think they should go Saliba from Arsenal. Still got Hugo Lloris and goal, great goalie. I assume they're gonna go. I don't know if they're gonna go two strikers up top, Mbappe and Benzema, but I just there's it's that final would be that final would be one for the ages. Brazil versus France and all that attacking talent. Brazil has two. They have so many attackers, but I'm going France.
Also, we're forgetting. I mean, I can talk about this in mine too, but in terms of generational players in this World Cup, we talk about Messi and Ronaldo, but this is going to be the last World Cup for Thiago Silva as well. And he has been one of the best defenders in the world for a long, long time. And that'll be interesting to see how he does for Brazil, considering that it's the last World Cup for him, and Brazil is looking to win their first World Cup in a long time, considering how much talent Brazil has every 4 years.
It kind of sucks that yeah, it kind of sucks it's Messi and Ronaldo's last World Cup, so that's one thing. Well, I'm gonna watch all of those matches. Sucks though. It comes to the U.S. in 26. I wish we got to see at least one of them.
I'm hoping that a 39-year-old Messi can hold on for one more World Cup in 2026 when it's here, because I will spend an outrageous amount to go see that.
And I'll say one other thing. I love Ronaldo, but if that Portugal team had prime Ronaldo, not just a box player, I would actually possibly have them winning it all with all the talent they have with Bernardo Silva, Bruno Fernandes, Cancelo, etc. But I just think he's too much of a standing in the box guy.
And he does not press.
Yeah, for that kind of team to win the World Cup.
All right. One final question. Which of the final four, or we'll do it this way, which of the championship game are you more nervous about losing early?
What do you mean? Brazil and France?
If you had to pick either Brazil or France to get upset earlier, which one are you more nervous about?
We talking against the opponents I picked or just in general?
Just in general.
I'd say it would still probably have to be France just because their midfield's in flux, as I said. I think Tukameni and Kamavinga will be fine, but still a concern. Yeah. So it would be France.
All right. We'll see how you do. We'll be able to keep up on this bracket throughout the World Cup and episodes between the end or between now and the end. But with that said, let's move on to Aaron's. Aaron, why don't you run us through your groups? What you have similar to Spencer? What do you have different than Spencer?
I believe we have Group A the same. I'm curious to see if Qatar paid off Ecuador to start off with a win on Monday and not get completely embarrassed, because they are terrible. So they're going to be hosting, and it's going to be embarrassing for their actual squad, I think. But we'll see if they can eke one out or get any points. But I believe we have Group A the same. Group B, I do have the U.S. moving on from the group stages. We've discussed that at length in the other show, so I won't get into that. Group C, I agree with Spence that Poland and Mexico is going to be the narrative there. I think Mexico is missing some key players, and Lewandowski is Lewandowski. So I have Poland second there. Group D, we also have the same. France, talent-wise, possibly the best team in the World Cup. So obviously first there. Denmark doesn't have any insane players in terms of talent, but they have so much chemistry and play so well together. And especially after what happened with Eriksson a couple of years ago in the Euros, I think that really brought them together even more. So they're kind of a sleeper dark horse team, I think, in this World Cup. Group E, I don't trust Spain really at all, but I still think they finished top of the group. And I think Germany, coming off of winning the World Cup in 2014 and then finishing last in their group in 2018. I think they come out with kind of a fire under them in this World Cup. I don't know how far that will get them, but I do think it gets them second in Group E. For Group F, I like Canada as well for the same reasons that Spencer mentioned, but I am taking Belgium at the top. I think Lukaku and Aiden Hazard are kind of in a downward spiral club-wise, but as far as the national team, I think they've got one more run in them, at least out of the group stages. And Croatia, outside of Modric, and when Modric carried them last time, he was a lot younger than he is now. I don't think Modric is enough to carry them this time. G, that's like the most straightforward group, I think. Yeah, not much to say about G. H, I have Portugal not moving on. I think Ronaldo is actually going to hurt Portugal, and it sucks to say this because he's a legend, but I think he's going to hurt Portugal more than he helps. Ghana is Senegal's kind of the up and coming African side on this one, but Ghana is the historic African side. They cause a lot of problems. They get a lot of shots. They get a lot of shots. So I'm going to take them second. And then Uruguay, I also agree with Spencer, kind of a sleeper team. I like Darwin Nunez as an X factor. I like Luis Suarez, the top goal scorer all time for them. And then Edinson Cavani is kind of an interesting cog in what they have going on there. Just a lot of experience. He's someone who can come off the bench and get you a goal. That's just the type of player he is. So I like what they have going on there.
Quick question. It's probably just I don't know. Why Cameroon over Serbia? I was just curious.
I honestly didn't think too deeply about it, if I'm being honest. I don't really have much reasoning. I just don't think either one of them move on. So I just put them 3 and 4, honestly.
Yeah, I was looking at Serbia's team, and I don't know. It's sneaky good. Vlahovic, Mitrovic, Tadic, Kostic, but yeah, I think it's a sneaky good team. But
all the itches,
except Pulisic.
Yep. Well, he could have played for Croatia. That'd actually be crazy, but good thing he chose us. So, so yeah, there's my quick rundown on the groups.
All right. Well, I had actually done Aaron's earlier because he had put his in not when we were in the middle of filming podcast. Thank you, Aaron, for doing what I asked earlier in the day. Shout out Spencer. With that said, let's move on to the bracket. Netherlands versus the US. Do
Netherlands
US have a magical run in them?
No, I've got Netherlands.
All right.
Hey, Aaron, here's our one hope for this game. Serginho Dest could have chose the Dutch, and
True.
I saw their manager recently said Dest wouldn't even made their squad, which their fullbacks are good, but yeah, some extra motivation.
Yeah, we'll see. Still taking Netherlands though.
All right. The game that you guys said has a chance to be the round of 16 game, the best game in there. Do you agree with Spencer that Argentina moves on?
Yeah, it sucks that Denmark is going to have to face Argentina that quickly though, because they are a good team. It'd be cool to see them go on a run, but unfortunately, they're just running into an Argentina team that I think they don't really have an insane amount of talent. They have what it takes, but with Messi being Messi, I don't know. I think it ends. I think it ends against Argentina.
It's funny how because I feel like if we would have talked about Argentina a year ago, that right now I think they're considered the second favorite. If we would have talked about them a year ago, I feel like it would have been a much different conversation with how Messi was playing.
It's because they changed a lot of minds beating Brazil in whatever it's called. I don't even remember. The Copa del Rey, is that what it is?
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, that when Argentina beat Brazil, that changed a lot of minds because they weren't really expected to do that.
Yep.
All right. Aaron, do you also have Canada upsetting and getting into the round of 8?
Yeah, because I don't like this Spain team. They have nowhere near as much talent as years past. They're really, I mean, they're still a historic team. You have to watch out for them, but I don't feel that great about Spain this year at all. Brazil and Ghana also has a shot to be a really, really good game, I think, if that does happen. Two very fast-paced, got a lot of guys that can dribble. But I mean, Brazil's just too good. I'm taking Brazil, but that could also be a very good match.
So, England versus Senegal. Do you have England getting upset in the first round, just like Spencer?
Yeah, and Spencer and I are having so many similar things that, oh man, I wish I would have gone first so it looked like Spencer was copying me. But no, I think Mendy plays. Spencer mentioned it. He hasn't been great. He hasn't even been the starting keeper for Chelsea most of this Premier League season, but he's one of those players who, when he plays for his national team, it's a different guy. And then Sadio Mane is Sadio Mane, and he's very familiar with that England squad, having played for Liverpool for so many years, and I think he's going to do considerable damage against them. I don't
Real
think they
quick,
have anyone that can stop him.
did any of you guys watch Senegal versus Egypt last year?
No.
They so I watched the last like 25 minutes, I think it was.
That PK shootout's probably the craziest thing I've ever seen. Stefan, if you haven't seen it on Twitter, they're like the game's in Africa. I think it's in Senegal, and I think it was in Senegal, right, Aaron?
I think so. And Mo Salah had the
Yep.
laser pointer. Mo Salah's stepping up to take the PK, and he has a laser pointer in his eye.
Not just
And
one, Stefan. There is literally hundreds of laser pointers on the field. They're trying to point it at Egypt's players every time they take a PK.
That's wild.
Wow.
Okay. Moving on. France, Poland. Does Poland pull off an upset?
Easily France. Lewandowski will. I don't know. They might be able to steal a couple goals because of Lewandowski, but France wins.
All right. Belgium versus Germany. This game seems more intriguing than the game that Spencer had down here.
Yeah, these are two teams that I'm not. I mean, I know I had them both making it out of the group stages, but I don't like either one. I'll take Germany just because of what happened in 2018. They'll have some motivation this year, but I don't like either one. Whoever wins that one is going to lose to Uruguay, who I have beating Switzerland easily.
All right. Well, that answers the next round of 8 question, where you have Uruguay also in Final Four. All right. The Senegal have a chance to upset France.
No, France just too good.
All right. Does Canada have a chance to upset Brazil?
Nope.
I think we are on the pace to have the exact same championship game.
Hey, I changed mine. Remember?
Which one did you?
I said championship game.
Oh.
Okay, well, I do think I'll well, just wait. Okay, Argentina defeats Netherlands.
Okay. Now,
And Copa del Rey rematch. The teacher against the student once again. Messi against Neymar. I'll take Argentina. I will take Argentina.
wow, a bit different. All right. Now, does France beat Uruguay?
Yes, even though I could see this game going to a shootout, but I do think France wins.
All right. Final question. Does Messi finally get the World Cup championship needed to cement himself as
Playing against another teammate now in Mbappe. I think it ends in heartbreak for Messi, like it did. I don't remember what year it was. Was that 2014, Spence, or
Yeah.
2012?
Against Germany?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was 14.
yeah, yep. I think it ends in heartbreak for old Lionel, and he possibly. I mean, we'll see if he makes the decision to play in 2026, but he possibly retires if it ends like this in another final. But I think France is too good. Pogba and Conte were such a huge part of their 2018 run. So that is definitely something to keep an eye on, but they are so deep, it's just next man up for them. I think they're still the best squad in the World
I will
Cup.
say they should not. I saw Rabiot's on their squad. I think that guy is horrible. If he
Yeah.
starts in their midfield, I change my mind on France winning it all.
Yeah, I'm not high on him either. He's not, and he just cannot hold possession to save his life, it seems like. And
And
he
I want to
makes
thank
foolish decisions.
I want to personally thank. I know you probably know how crazy his mom is. Have you heard?
Rabiot's mom?
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, I might have seen some stuff on Twitter. You'd have to refresh my memory though.
I'm not sure the specific story, but she's a lunatic. But I specifically thank her to this day. Rabiot was on his way to Man U, and she denied it. In turn, we got Casemiro, so I thank you, heavens.
All right, now we move on to what you all have been waiting for. My World Cup pool play and bracket predictions.
Oh, which country would I rather go to? Well,
So let's see. Unlike you guys, I have Ecuador coming out in Group A. No,
Senegal.
Not
Whatever.
high on Senegal this year.
No, I'm not. I have the US coming out. I have Mexico coming out, unlike you two.
Okay, wait. Why Ecuador or Senegal or Senegal?
No idea. Because Ecuador, I've been to. Mexico over Poland. Don't ask me why. Just took them mainly because I always think Mexico's good at soccer, even though they're probably not. It's just like the preconception in my brain. France and Denmark. I do know a little bit about those two. I'm not completely an idiot, I don't think. Spain and Germany, two I know have been powerhouses for a while, so I took those two. Spence, you talked me into Canada like 2 months ago that Canada was actually good. Or no, it was right before pools were drawn. You were like, as long as we don't end up in the same pool as Canada, because they're the best team in quadrant 4, I think is what quadrant they were in, that you were like, that would be the group of death. So that talked me into Canada. Outside of that, no idea why. And Belgium beat the US in 14, so that's why I think they're still good. Brazil and Switzerland. I mean, Brazil's Brazil, and the other two, I think Cameroon and Serbia are just assumed suck. Just take a guess. Uruguay and Portugal is my top 2 in Group H, just because Uruguay and Messi, or not Messi, Ronaldo. Now, I already took the time to fill out my entire bracket. So, with that said, Netherlands, Argentina, Canada as well, Brazil, England and France, Germany and Uruguay. I have Germany making the top 4, unlike you two. I have Uruguay losing in the round of 8. Outside of that, Argentina and Brazil. I have the same final as Aaron in Argentina and France, but Messi finally gets that win. He wins it all and retires.
Now, I just looked at CBS Sports' predictions, and if they're correct, we're going to look really bad because they project Canada to end with 0 points. So Hopefully.
Canada
not.
to end with 0 points in their group.
0.
How? How do
I-
they think that though?
I don't know. I think they had Morocco. Yeah, Morocco third. Yeah.
So with
Is-
going through my picks, do y'all see anything crazy out of the ordinary?
No.
No.
I almost took England to beat France. I will say that. And unlike you two, I somewhat actually like England just because I like the saying "it's coming home," and I'll scream it at the top of
See,
my lungs randomly.
I did like in the Euros. I was like, oh, I'm gonna cheer for England because they got all these Premier League guys. But since then, I've kind of got more involved with soccer, so I see all the English media and all them trashing on the Americans. So that's basically my reasoning for going against
The
England.
the English media deserves the disappointment. They think that they're just so cocky, and they're not very open to players from other countries. Sometimes it's literally racist, and sometimes it's just hating on the U.S. But yeah, I'm not a fan of the English media.
Yeah.
All right. With all that said, that ends our World Cup preview.
Wait. I got a few questions.
All right.
First of all, Aaron Stock, you can chime in on these two. Golden Boot prediction.
I think you got to say Mbappe, especially if like we both have France going on the way, all the way. He'll play in, well, not in the most matches, but the most possible matches that he can. I think Mbappe wins Golden Boot. Benzema has a shot, but I think Mbappe is going to get more shots overall. So
Yeah, that's
Question.
what I hate. That's what I hate about Golden Boot too. Is like it's not even necessarily the best player. It's like who's the best player on the team that lasted the longest, really.
So, question is the Golden Boot who scores the most goals?
Yeah.
yeah,
All right, Messi.
I think Messi has the most assists.
All right.
Uh,
Sleeper for both team and player wise.
So I won't answer player, just because I don't know, but I will do team. My team would be Denmark. Even though I picked Argentina to win it all, you guys have scared me into thinking Denmark could upset them. So Denmark is my team.
I don't know whether to call Uruguay a sleeper or not, really, because I think they kind of are, but I also think people are aware of the talent they have. So I do think Denmark is a sleeper just because of how much chemistry they have. Canada is kind of a sleeper as well. I don't think there's any like crazy sleepers this year, though. I feel like everyone's kind of aware of those teams, but for like the worldwide media, I guess Canada's kind of a sleeper.
Yeah, and it's hard to pick a sleeper really, because outside of your top teams, nobody's really gonna win it. To be honest, discussing someone you guys didn't that I didn't even have making that out their groups. Serbia, honestly, I was unfamiliar with, but they have a lot of talent. Mitrovic been tearing it up for Fulham. They've got some really good midfield options, and then Vlahovic from Juve as well. So if I were to go back, I probably would have picked them over Switzerland actually to make it out of that group they were in. Player wise, I'm a little biased, but I think this year he's established himself as one of the best defenders in the Prem, and his team should be making it far. And so I think the breakout player for me would be Lissandro Martinez. I can't wait to watch him at center back for Argentina.
Breakout player.
I'll just say another that I already mentioned too. Jonathan David is another one that I really like.
Jonathan David would be on my list. Let me look at who I had moving on. Or Stefan, can you go to mine?
Your bracket or your
Yeah,
groups?
my bracket. All right, I agree with Jonathan David. I don't know who I would pick outside of that, honestly. I think Darwin Nunez isn't necessarily a breakout player. people are very much aware of him, but he's definitely like he could be a breakout player in the context of his national team. He's a big X factor for Uruguay. So I'll say Darwin Nunez.
And then one last question. Biggest disappointment, or I guess second to last question quickly. Disappointment player and team.
Team. Portugal.
I have unfortunately Portugal, and just because of how hyped up he is as a player, even though if you've been paying attention, you shouldn't put this much hype on him, but just because he's one of the greatest players of all time, he will have that much hype around him. Ronaldo, I think Ronaldo will be disappointing.
I agree on the player. Team, I would agree on, but I'll give something different. I'll say England. I think those defensive issues will come back to bite them at some point, as well as Southgate's shortcomings. Last question: U.S. are out. You said you're probably rooting for Argentina, both of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I like I said, I do like England because of the saying it's coming home.
I like, in terms of teams that I think actually have a shot to go far, Argentina, but just teams that I like because of individual players. I like Senegal a lot, and I like Poland a lot. I want to see, because Lewandowski can carry a team to a win. Will he? I don't know, but he's one of the best goal scorers in the world. So
It might be unpopular because they're in CONCACAF, but I mean, we've talked about it a lot, but I really like watching Canada, so I hope they do well.
All right. Make sure y'all follow the Twitter at the 515 Sports Pod and tune in next week as we'll recap the first couple games. See y'all later.